Marlene's way.
Hi, can you hear me in the back? No, okay, I'll eat the mic. Can you hear me now? I'll keep shouting. Okay. I'm very proud as a new San Franciscan to be here with Dykes tonight. The concept of conservative queers is too much for me, and we better reject it quick. As Dykes, definitely we should be proud, but we should not be self-satisfied. Everything we have, everything we are, is because of people who have gone before us, people we will never see and possibly never know. We live in a land of privilege. Even as we fight for our rights, we are a privileged people today. Those fancy jeans we enjoy cutting up were paid who make those shiny rainbow rings we wear so proudly. Not much. We have to be proud as Dykes, but never so self-satisfied we don't remember our connection to everyone who's struggling for a better life.
Just before the march started, I turned around and behind me I just saw a sea of lesbians, and it was an incredible sight. And we just set off down the road. It was like going to Oz.
What happened was, I was a member of the New York City Lesbian Avengers, and at the time there were maybe like 40 Lesbian Avenger chapters across the country, and they had announced that there was gonna be a march on Washington, LGBTQ march on Washington, and we called the organizers and we asked them. We had seen a listing of events, and we called them and asked them what lesbian events did they have, and they said, well, our lesbian events are at the bars. And we were like thinking, well, not exactly. But we started doing phone chats, meeting, I think on a weekly basis, and just trying to come up with things that we could do. And I believe it was Sarah Schulman, who was one of the co-founding members of the original Lesbian Avengers, who said, why don't we do a Dyke March?
We take the fire within us! We take it and make it our own! We take the fire within us! We take it and make it our own! We take the fire within us!
First we smoked pot, and then we smoked cigarettes while I watched her make preparations. She turned off the lights and lit candles and stretched out on the floor. And I started thinking about all the times I've been in situations like this one. All the times I've been alone together in a poor apartment with a woman with a past and something that makes it all so stark, like our bones are showing. Everything else fades in importance except this place, this secret place, this motel room, and our certain quiet longings. We start kissing, and I'm lifting her body onto mine. She's gorgeous. Within a few minutes, I could tell from the way it was my hands around her waist and me lifting her, the way she was crawling on top of my legs, climbing on, that she was turning over to me, wanting to give up. That's one thing I know about sex. Not sex with love, but just for the sake of it. Most people want one of two things. Either they want you to submit, or they want to get lost. They let you know which one it is right away. As for me, I don't have a particular sexual taste. I just like the part where they show their desire.
I was a founder of the Lesbian Avengers. In 1992, because I'm a novelist, right? So in 1992, I had a novel come out called Empathy. And I asked my publisher, Dutton, to do my book tour at every gay bookstore in the US South. And I went and started Lesbian Avenger chapters. I was supposed to be selling my book, but actually I was starting Lesbian Avenger chapter. But what we started to notice as the years went by is that there were young women who were coming in who had never been in the feminist movement, and they came in without basic skills, and they were not accruing them in a male-dominated organization. So that was the reason we decided to start the Lesbian Avengers in 1992, was to just give some more basic training to young women. And at its height, there were 22 chapters on 4 continents. And it accomplished a lot, but it was an anarchist organization, so it fell apart pretty quickly. But, you know, wherever I go, I meet people who were Lesbian Avengers. I mean, from all over the country and the world, and it trained a lot of young women. Okay, so the Dyke March was formed by a coalition, the Lesbian Avengers, the ACT UP Women's Network, and Philadelphia ACT UP. Those were the 3 groups. But the original idea, and this is contested, but I claim the original idea came from Anna Maria Simo. So the night of the first Dyke March, 20,000 people showed up. And we had no permit. So all these gay women from all over the world, we just marched all over Washington, D.C. I mean, there had never been anything like that, and people were ecstatic. But what happened that we never thought of was that they all went home to wherever they were from with the news of this and organized local Dyke Marches. This was completely uncoordinated. It was spontaneous. So the next year there were marches in Toronto and San Francisco and, you know, all of that, and there still are. And that's how that spread. It was just a natural thing. And that's the value of in real life, right? Because people have a collective experience and then they bring it home with them. And that's how it started.
When we came back after the March on Washington, we thought about it in New York, and we said, you know, maybe we should do a Dyke March here in New York. So we put one together because the March on Washington was in April. We did the first Dyke March in that June. The cops stopped us because they thought we were going to invade Macy's. We were like, no, we're not going shopping. We're protesting. I would like to think that the Dyke March is what people want it to be. And it's really interesting to see the how people come together and what their what's important to them, because what's important to other people is very important to me, because I may not have even thought of something, and they're out there, they're putting themselves out there and saying, this is important to me. And I think that's important, because I think sometimes we forget that there are so many of us who aren't sure, you know, what to put out there, and sometimes you take that little leap of faith, and it's, to me, that's what's the most important thing, that you're willing to take that leap of faith, that you're willing to put yourself out there, and good things come about because of it.
I'm Indy and I'm 20.
I'm Brianna and I'm 20.
Yeah. I remember we were walking. It was us, our friend Kay, and a few other people who had kind of just joined us. And Kay saw Leah Delaria.
That's what I was gonna say.
So we ran up to Leah Delaria, and she was the sweetest person I've ever met. She was like, "Oh my God, hi! Like, do you want a hug? Do you want a picture?" And it was amazing. And we have pictures with Leah Delaria now.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was amazing. It was nice to be in a space surrounded by like-minded people, and not feel judged. It felt more personal to me than Pride did, because I do identify as a lesbian, so it was nice to be around a lot of lesbians. It felt like I was in a safe space.
Yeah, I feel like in a lot of ways, Pride has become really over-commodified, so I felt like there was a really authentic space in Dyke March. Just seeing so many people who were there for that sense of community was something that was really refreshing, and it kind of felt like a way to exist beyond the like rainbow capitalism as a queer person during June, which was also really freeing and liberating.
I just think if you're hesitant about going, I understand, but we're all here for you. and go. You'll make so many new friends. You'll make so many good memories. It'll be worth it. And we're here for each other. We'll protect you. Yeah.
I agree. I think that's like something that is a little bit different than pride, is just that sense of community. Like, you can literally turn to your side and just look at somebody and spark up a conversation. So I feel like even if you don't have somebody to go with, you know,
Join
just
us.
go. Yeah, show up, have fun. Because I feel like everybody just is looking for that sense of community, and why not, you know, the more the merrier.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, be able to experience that together is really awesome.
Revolución lesbiana, y que no da ni un paso atrás. Si tú pasas por mi casa y tú ves a mi dama, ¿qué le dices? Tú le dices que venga conmigo, que este movimiento no da ni un paso atrás. Tú le dices que venga conmigo, que este movimiento no da ni un paso atrás.
I think in 10 years we will rule. Dykes will rule in this country. Out Dykes. Out and proud Dykes will rule.